guys, it's your girl Shanae
and Jasmine,
and we're back with another episode of
MVP
TV. And before we get started, as always, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and make sure to follow us on all of our social media outlets listed below. So today, what are we talking about, Jazz?
We are talking about this Netflix phenomenon.
It really is. It's trending everywhere.
Seriously.
It's like #1 for the Netflix.
Yes, like
for the Netflix. That sounds like I'm 90. It's #1 for the Netflix.
For the Netflix. Have you watched the Netflix recently? Love is Blind on Netflix has taken over social media for so many reasons.
Yeah, I totally get it, because Jasmine's been telling me to watch it since it first came on, and I'm like, I'll get to it, and then I finally watched it, and I like binged the entire season.
This is why Netflix is coming up on the prices, because they got their own little series going on, and they got the nerve to drop an episode once a week.
I know, they getting like Hulu in that aspect. I don't know about that, you know. I prefer just put the whole thing in there.
Yeah, let me indulge.
Yeah, but okay, so let's get right into it. If you haven't seen Netflix, this is a reality, like, I don't want to say a game show, but it's like a competition. Not a competition, I don't know, but it's a love connection kind of show.
Yeah.
But there's a group of women, a group of men, and the premise is that they don't get to see each other before they decide they want to spend their lives with each other.
Yeah.
So they talk to each other, they hear each other's voice, but they're like in a room with a divider that you can't see through. I love the premise of that, because I do feel like everything is so based on looks these days.
Superficial.
Like, so superficial. Yeah. And then the problem is, if it was based on looks and that's really what you're going after, when people present themselves on social media, that's not how they look.
Yeah.
So by the time y'all together, by the time y'all together, it's like, so when you was in that house all the time, that was your mom's house. You was in front of that car, that was your brother's car. Like, you know, it's so much like falsifying or stunting or whatever you want to call it. So by the time you meet each other, I feel like a lot of times those connections don't last. So I do love the premise of the show.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's really cool to get to know someone like mentally first before physically, because like you said, like when you first meet someone, you're gonna look at whatever you're attracted to: their hands, their eyes, their mouth, their teeth, the way they dress,
their smile,
their arms, their butt, whatever. But I feel like that strips all that away.
It does. And
it makes you like really get to know them, like really get to know their likes, really get to know their dislikes, and really who they are at the core, supposedly.
So, and they only have like, this whole thing was filmed over like a month or a month and a half. Excuse me. So they only have a couple days before they propose to somebody, and at first I was like, that's really crazy. But when you think about it, when all other distractions are taken out, you could they probably knew each other better in a week than some people who have been dating for
I probably fall in love in 2 days myself.
I would. When you're that much like involved,
you don't got no cell phone, no internet, no
distraction,
TV, no cable, no
that's
nothing.
Like real deal hardcore. We know each other. We know this is what we want. Like, I do believe that they really loved each other. Like, I believe that. Some of them, and some of them I feel like honestly were on that show because I would say more so, well, I would say more so like the women. There were a couple of women that I feel like, you know, we have internal like clocks and stuff like that. And I feel like they were at that point, like something needs to work.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that's what they were going for. But I will say, like I said, I do believe that it could really be love, and you don't get to meet the person until they propose to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like the one thing that kind of threw me off is that it was the man had to propose to the woman. Now, there was a situation where the man proposed and the woman was like, I want to switch things around. I'm proposing to you. But I feel like it should have been, from the beginning, it should have been whoever wants to propose, because this is such a modern thing to do anyway. I mean, women are proposing to men all over the place. Yeah. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
But, you know, if they wanted to, let them do it. But my thing was, I was a little nervous that what if somebody saw somebody and they were like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, but I was definitely waiting like, what if that happened?
But I feel like even if they did, they would probably like overlook it because they know them like deep inside. Yeah. And so like, I feel like if they weren't like immediately attracted to them, like maybe it can grow over time. Like the personality will get you, the things they do, the gestures will get you. I feel like, you know, they could have overlooked it if that happened, but I don't think that happened.
So once they're engaged though, they take it a step. I guess if you don't get proposed to, you're off the show. Once they get engaged, they send them on vacation so they can get to know each other a little bit more personally. Then the next step is moving in, where they have like a mock move-in for a while. And then they meet the families, and then they decide if they want to go through with the wedding. What language? They decide if they want to go through with the wedding, and then they get to the altar and decide if they want to say I do. So there's a lot of times that somebody could flake out on you, which would give me all types of anxiety, because I'm like, he better not leave, he better not leave, because that's a hard thing to do in front of like everybody you love. If somebody's like, I can't do it, you be like, oh, like,
that's humiliating.
That is. And okay, so now that you know the premise of the show, let's get into the contestants slash couples. Not contestants. I don't know how else to name them besides contestants. The cast. So there was this one girl that you said you don't remember, Elsie.
I don't remember her.
She had a connection with Barnett. Barnett was like...
What was she wearing? Look in the blue dress.
I don't remember. But Barnett was like getting connections with all these women. And I do feel like he led a lot of them on. And that wasn't fair for him. But that's just probably who he is. He's just like a flirtatious guy. But he was also the one that told Diamond her name sounded like she was a stripper. She was not happy about it. But Elsie was with Barnett. She thought he was going to propose to her. And when he didn't, she was like... The only thing that threw me off, she was like... I guess he didn't like me. No one has so far. I don't know what's wrong with me. There must be something wrong with me.
I'm gonna have to
my
go
whole
back.
life. And I was like, yo, chill out. It's one guy you didn't connect with. Like, there's somebody for you, but clearly it's not him. Would you rather that he did propose and he wasn't the one? Like, what's your problem? Why are you bugging out like that? Shit don't work out. It's okay.
Move on. It's like pods. It's a pod full of men.
Keep it pushing, boo.
You worried about
at that point, she wasn't on the show no more. Because that was probably like the last day to propose. And then, oh girl, so let's talk about one of our most annoying couples, Mark and Jessica.
Mark is an idiot and Jessica is an idiot. First of all, Mark is just so naive. Like, I just don't understand. Like, if you're 24 you want to get married, cool, that's fine. But I feel like he was just so pushy about it. And I feel like he was a sucker. Like, I really feel like he was a sucker. Like, for Jessica to break up with him and say, oh, I'm talking to someone else, I like someone else, yada, yada, yada. And the next day she comes back to you crying.
Like, oh, I made a mistake. Especially when you're in the pod with the guys and you can hear them talking. You can hear Barnett like, oh, Jessica's in love with me. And then she breaks up with you. So and the next day he comes back and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I made the biggest mistake of my life, babe. And I'm like, babe. And he's like, she just kept calling me babe and I knew it was real. Like, nigga.
I can call you babe. That don't mean it's real.
You know, maybe Waco, boo. I'm like, okay, boo boo. Ain't nothing real about it. But anyway, so the thing about, like, I don't know. I do think that people can work things out with age differences, but I feel like the older you get, the less the age difference seems. For 24 and 34, to me, that's a huge age gap. Like, that's huge. I would understand it more. I feel like if the man was 34 and the woman was 24, because I do feel like men mature a little bit slower. But I just think they were on two totally different pages. But what was weird to me is that she seemed like she was so desperate to start this family. And that was everything he was willing to give her. Like, everything she was saying she wanted, he was like offering her. And she still walked out. But I think it's because she was in love with Barnett.
I think what really sealed the deal is like when the couples all met on their trip and she got to see Barnett. And she's seen... who she was supposed to be with.
Well, who she thought she was supposed to
compared
be
to who she has. And I felt like that just like...
I think the physical attraction threw her off because she definitely even was like, he's a lot shorter than the guys. He doesn't look like the guys I've dated. And she wouldn't want to be intimate with him. But it's like, I get you not wanting to be intimate because if I just met you a week ago, even if I felt like I was in love with you, I'll be very nervous about that myself. But for you not even to be affectionate to somebody that you're engaged to at this point. You went
crawling back to him.
And she's like, yeah. Like literally you could tell she didn't want to be up under him. But yeah, she was just very annoying because everything she said she wanted Mark was offering her and she was like, oh, he's the man of my dreams. The thing that threw me off is when she approached Amber at the bachelorette night. Amber was about to whip her ass. She was like, I'm gonna let you know I would break your fucking nose if you come for my man. I was like, oh, they about to fight. But
and like even when she was having a conversation with Barnett, he was like, well, I'm happy. Like, you know, he's telling you, like, back the fuck off.
Yeah, and she's like, did you think I still wanted you? No.
I'm so in love with my man.
I made such the right choice. Like, you could tell she was hoping that he came there to say, I made a mistake and it should have been you. That's what she was hoping for.
I'm not going to say she got a drinking problem, but she was drunk a lot.
She was twisted.
A lot.
Like, she was kissing Amber and shit like that. She kissed her on the lips. She's like, I love you, boo. You know I love you. And I was like...
That's the closest thing she would get to kissing Barnett, so...
I was like, first of all, I'm not like a super jealous person. I don't feel like that. But if it was a girl telling me how much like... And I knew she dated my man because technically they dated.
Yeah.
They almost got engaged. And she was hanging on me. Like, I would have had to like push her... At least push her off of me. Like, it wouldn't have been a friendly get off of me. It would like, get the fuck off of me. Like, so I understand why like Amber was saying the stuff she said. Like, I will really fuck you up. Like, you could tell she was really about to like...
Clearly Amber don't
get in that ass. She's about to throw them paws on her. But so yeah, Jessica is just a hot ass mess. Sorry, Jessica.
Amber, I don't have much to say about Amber. I mean, I feel like she clearly won on the show with nothing.
Yeah.
I feel
couch surfing.
Yeah, I feel like, and she didn't have a job.
But I mean, some people like that's what they like. She clearly, she even said it, like she wants to be a stay-at-home wife, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. If that's what you two decide on together, that's cool. If there's a partner that wants to be a stay-at-home partner,
I don't know. I feel like you need to bring something to the table. And I feel like in this
scenario, can her something be like loving him in her heart?
No.
Okay.
You need more.
Okay.
More. You need more.
Okay.
And she was bringing nothing.
Well, I just don't like how she worded it, like, oh, I want to make sure we can pay for my dress. Like, you're not working. Just tell him you need him to buy your dress.
And like, she's laughing about being in debt with freaking makeup credit cards. Like, what? No, because when we get married, that debt becomes my debt.
Well,
you idiot.
Like, she was like, her and Barnett met for whatever, and she was like, I'm not gonna say yesterday that all I'm gonna say, somebody finished off an entire wine bottle by herself and made a guest list. And he was like, that's normal. But you can tell he was like kind of concerned about it. And I'm like, that's like a red flag kind of though for me. Like, if you're just telling me how you're finishing, like, okay, I can understand you finishing like a bottle of wine once in a while, but if you're just sitting alone by yourself making a guest list and you drink a bottle of wine, I'd be like, well, okay. Like,
he was like, I really don't know what Amber does all day while I'm at work. Yeah. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
A huge one.
Yeah.
Like,
do something.
Anything.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, they did end up marrying each other. And they seemed happy. They did. You could tell his family was kind of like iffy. Like, when she met his family, it was really awkward.
I feel like they're really making jokes and stuff.
She was like, so we met and da-da-da, and they were all like,
yeah, they're really conservative, and she's just like all outspoken and all over the place, and they're just like,
yeah. And the same thing with Jessica, when she met his family, like, I feel like his family was very accepting. Yeah. But you could tell like she was more uncomfortable than his family was. I felt like.
I feel like another thing that messed with their relationship is that she kept constantly thinking about age. Yeah. Like, she knew that he was 24 in the pods. Yeah. Like, you knew.
But that was the only guy that wanted, like, not saying that's the only guy that wanted her, but that was the guy that she knew was gonna propose. I feel like
maybe him and Barnett are the only two people that entertain that little baby voice that she does.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And it does change when she's in the confessional. So when she's talking to the guy, she's like, "Hey, did you think about me yesterday?" And it's like, why are you talking like that?
I gotta talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Speak up. So what were the other couples that made it? Oh, the Diamond and
Carlton.
Carlton and Diamond. So Carlton and Diamond seemed to hit it off. They seemed to hit it off. They meshed well and everything like that. They met. He proposed. Then they met. And like I said, the first thing they do is send you guys on vacation. Once they get to Mexico, Carlton is like, well, I have something I need to reveal to her. I don't know how she's going to take it. After they're already engaged, she says this. And then he's like, he tells her, like, I've been with men and women. I feel like homegirl took it well. How do you feel?
I think she took it well. But he was saying this before he even proposed to her. He was saying, like, in the confessional, like, I have a secret. I've dated both genders in the past. Before he proposed to her, he said that.
Not to her.
No. He said to the confessional. So I feel like she took it well. I also feel like he should have disclosed that in the pods.
Before the engagement.
Yes. Give me a chance to decide if that's something that I'm willing to deal with and willing to live with. Yeah. You're taking that right away from me when you decide to not tell me and wait till we're engaged to tell me.
Right. Well, and then the thing is, like, he tells her, like, oh, well, I've dealt with men and women. I'm going to be 100% open and honest. And it's like, now you are. Yes. But from day one, no, you were not. And my thing is, like, he's like, well, the reason I didn't tell you from jump is because I didn't want to blow my chance. And then he follows up by saying, but every woman I've ever told has accepted it. And she was like, well, if that's the truth, then you should have just told me. Yeah. Like, well, which I agree with. Like, if it's never been a problem before, because he kept saying it's never been a problem before. Okay, so then you should have told me from day one. And you knew that it might have been a potential issue for me because you kept it from me. Like, I am glad that he told her before they got married, because who knows how that would have went. But like, I feel like there were ways he could have broke it to her in the confessional.
I don't believe,
not in the confessional, in the pod, I'm sorry.
I don't believe that he's told other women before and they had no problems with it, because if they did, he wouldn't have reacted the way he did. And he went from 0 to
well, and that was
100 real quick
on their first date. Before he disclosed it, like, I feel like he was a different person than he was in the pod. Like, in the pod, I know editing plays a part in it, he was like very charming, he was very, you know, sincere and understanding and, you know, deep and having real conversations. And then he got to dinner and he was like, yeah, you need to get a shirt that says daddy like it. You lucky you cute so you could say shit like that. Yeah. And she was like, what are you talking? You could tell she was like very thrown off. Like, he was like very aggressive and like doing a lot of like backhanded compliments. And
I feel like he was trying to flirt and be like overly masculine for some reason.
Probably because he knew he had to tell her that.
And that's not attractive.
Well, like, and that's not who he's been the whole time. Like, that would have been, and you could tell she was like, because even she, at one point she was like, let's go get in the pool or something before this goes too left. But like, you completely changed up who you are. This is who you, like, don't feel like you have to put on a show for me. That's the whole point of this experiment.
Yeah.
Like, if we were dating and then in person, every time I take you in person, you acting like an asshole. Like, who wants to go out with you acting like that?
I feel like she took it well. I feel like the next day when they had the conversation.
Oh, and she came very sweet too.
Yeah, I feel like she approached it like real gently and mature, and I feel like she was like really like willing to listen to him talk. But I feel like as soon as she said, which she had the right to say, you should have told me in the beginning, then he wants to flip his shit.
Yeah, because he's like, you know, but I'm not about to take this from you. I feel very insulted. She's like, you feel insulted? Why? Like, I'm just saying you should have told me that. And like, even before before the conversation happened, she was like, you know, I'm going into this, and you know, I still love him. Like, I'm always gonna have love for him because I really did catch feelings. So I think had he calmed the fuck down, she probably would have stayed with him. But he was like, I'm not about to take this. I feel insulted, and then he was cursing. He was, and then she was like, what? And then she was like, no, fuck you, that's fucked up. Like, why are you acting like that? You should have told me from jump. And he was like, fuck you, I don't have to do this. And then they got ratchet, and she was like, watch my ass jump onto the next dick, boy. And like, was walking off, and she was like, you ain't got no average wife, boy. And I was like, oh my god. You know, the cameraman was like, jeez Louise.
Oh my god.
She threw a drink in this man's face, and
he deserved all of it though.
But he even said in the confessional, like, I really shouldn't have handled it that way.
No,
like, he even said it. He was like, I shouldn't have did that. Like, that's not me. That's not how who she met in the pod was me. Which I do believe. Because I feel like when they were in person, he was putting on a show every single time. But I feel like a part of that was to compensate for what he was keeping from her. And like, granted, I don't have any secret like that to tell anybody. But I can understand why he's so defensive. Probably because reactions he's gotten in the past. But
then he lied and say, oh, no one's ever reacted like this. I don't believe that. I think they have. I feel like that's why he was so defensive. And that's why he didn't tell her, because he did get bad reactions from telling people in the past. But I mean, I feel like when you're in a situation like that, when you're trying to get married, I feel like you should share that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid to share anything with the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
I feel like he should have been, like, just like she went there willing to listen to him and hear him out, he should have went there willing to answer any questions that she had. But he wasn't doing that.
But you could tell, like, once he flipped, she was very hurt. And I think that's like, she was just trying to hurt him back, but you could, like, she was crying and everything. I felt bad for my girl.
Yeah. And then he came for her wig.
He told her that's why your wig is crooked or something like that. And I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. Lord, this is getting spicy.
Granted, her wig was messy.
I'm sorry, Diamond. A little overplucked. But anyway.
Yeah. But he shouldn't have said that.
Neither here nor there.
He shouldn't have said that.
So